All right, so I have yet to introduce you guys to her. Now you see me work on her stuff before, but I've never put the face to the name. So I'm sitting here with
Toine Houston.
Toine Houston, musician,
Yes.
poet.
Yes.
Can we tie poetry and music kind of one and the same? Yeah.
For sure.
You have a podcast or something going on now?
I have a new podcast called Experience Wrap Up.
What's that about?
It's all about me and my co-host Asia Robeson and our experiences as Black women in STEM, and we're wrapping it up. But it's also a play on rap because she's a lyricist as well, and so we lyrically storytell our experiences as women in STEM. So it's across cultural topics as well as technical topics, and we just hopefully making it fun and palatable for people. So
okay. What else do you do? Merchandise, because that's how
merchandise. That's how you. Yeah.
Well, I mean, we connected before that.
Music,
right?
Yeah.
You guys will hear her music. I'll have a clip at the end of the video as well. But we connected on music.
Yeah.
But you also do merch.
I do. So I have an album called IB. And so, but it's more than just music, right? So IB is a movement, and so I wanted to have merch to help push that movement forward. So I have IB merch,
right.
As well as other motivational sayings and stuff. But it's really all about people standing and believing in who they are, what they are, when they are. Okay. Yeah. So being unapologetic with that.
Toine.
Yes.
Where are you from? Where you living now? What you got going on aside from the podcast and the new album or something, right?
So my latest album is called IB, and it's out now. I also released a single called Unapologetic, which is out now. So again, under that whole theme of just not apologizing for who you are and standing on that. I'm working on my third album. So that'll be coming this year. So you guys make sure you get that.
Do I get a feature on there? Can I like a little chorus or something?
I mean, where you at? I mean,
we'll see.
But that ties into your other question, which was where am I from? From Chicago. So Chi-Town in the
Chi-Town.
I was out in Cali for a number of years, which is how you and I first met. But now I'm back in Chicago. Working on that third album and stuff. And I'm also an engineer. So that's my 9 to 5, right? As many of us artists have. And
we'll touch on that too.
I do have a 9 to 5. I'm a user experience engineer for I don't know if I can say the company, but it's one of the top cloud companies out here in the world. So I'm pretty proud of that. So yeah.
Let's tie that in.
Yep.
So a lot of the people on my platform and myself, I've struggled with being able to live your dreams, right?
Yeah.
Side hustle while having a 9 to 5.
Right.
How are you able to have this 9 to 5 and still be able to be this artist and focus on merchandise and podcasts and all these other things you want to do while having this 9 to 5?
For me, my 9 to 5, I'm blessed in the fact that I really do love my career, right? So it's not just a lot of artists have 9 to 5s that they can't stand. They're just doing it to help fund their music, right? But I've always been not always, but I got my degree in engineering from DePaul University, so I've always loved that, right? And so I'm fortunate enough to work in an industry that's remote, 1, and 2, it's not like it's work for me. I've been doing UX for a number of years, so even if I didn't do music, I would love UX. So that's a blessing because a lot of people, like us, creatives can't necessarily say that. So I've been able to be flexible and live many different places and work around, work from many different places. And so that allows me to fund my independent artist career, right? And then do all these other things like the podcast and all that other stuff. So I'm really fortunate to do that.
Shows. Any shows coming up?
I do.
Now that we're open, right? Completely open? It's open in Chicago too, I'm assuming everywhere?
Yeah. So I actually,
shows?
I do have a show coming up in August, and there's an artist named Teresa Griffin, amazing artist. She's out of Chicago, but a lot of the world knows her just from her phenomenal voice. She's a soul singer, a house singer, a R&B singer. Like, she's amazing, and she's blessing me with opportunity to be part of her platform in August in Chicago. So I'm really excited about that. Nice. So that's happening. So I'll be promoting that really soon. And then I'm just working again on that third album, and so my hope is that additional shows will just kind of follow from that. But right now I'm focusing on that August one. So yeah.
Now that we're coming out of COVID,
yep.
How was COVID for you? You know, I mean,
other than mentally draining.
Yeah.
COVID was interesting. COVID actually allowed me to start another adventure of mine, which was animation.
Oh, so you did animation stuff.
Yeah, I ended up starting a animated series called Eyes Just Sam, which is Eyes, EYEZ, Just Sam, because it was all about what my perception of different characters and stuff. And so I came up with like 7 core characters. It ended up getting signed with the On Channel. So shout out to the On Channel for supporting
On Channel,
supporting my my animation endeavors. But yeah, so COVID was a mixed bag. I mean, I did lose some people to COVID, unfortunately, some family, but it also allowed me to kind of stand still and take a beat and really realize like what I wanted to do career-wise. Cause I ended up making a shift with my 9 to 5. Like I switched companies. I got into the animation. I started writing again. I started really kind of realizing who Toine was outside of just everything else. And I think a lot of people kind of did that too, especially with not just with COVID, but just racially what the world was kind of going through and stuff with so much loss. So yeah, for the most part, it just allowed me to just kind of stop, take a beat, and just explore more of my creative roots.
Right.
So
so where do you and it's a silly question, but gotta ask.
Is any question silly though?
Sometimes I'd be asking some silly shit.
Yeah.
Your goals. Where do you see yourself in a year from now? 5 years from now?
Yeah.
10 years from now? So 1, 5, 10.
1, 5, 10. A year from now, I see myself promoting the hell out of my third album.
The third album. Okay.
5 years from now, I see myself touring and really being a household name, either from a front forward artist perspective or from a writer perspective, maybe, because you just never know what in this industry. 10 years from now, I see myself retired from the 9 to 5 for sure, and living somewhere warm with beautiful water, and a beautiful man next to me, and
well,
so
I don't want no beautiful man next to me.
But no, I mean 10 years from now, I definitely see myself just doing something creative and just loving life, and but I'm really hoping that my podcast and things work out, because that's something where I feel like little black girls and just little women,
which I'm gonna ask
just women of color don't see themselves in certain spaces. And so if nothing else, it's me and my co-hosts are all about just sharing, being very open and very candid with the audience about like what we've gone through and continue to go through, as women in STEM, that maybe certain stories are not necessarily shared, as they should be. And so to me, in 5 years, if I can see myself doing a lot more speaking engagements just to, youth groups or women groups or like YMCAs or, TED Talks, etc., about UX related topics in this lyrical sort of way that currently I don't see. So I wanted to create it. That would be amazing to me.
What message though? What message would you have for young little black women, black girls?
Yeah.
It's hard enough as it is now. But what message would you have for them, being someone's in this industry, if they're looking to get in the industry, or just life in general?
Yeah. To believe in themselves, even if no one else, or a lot of times when no one else does. And that could be a hard thing because, we're sometimes looking and, starving for that support, right? But I wish someone would have told me that, right? To look beyond that 2-block radius or 2-block window outside your window, to know that it's so much more life out here than what you see, right? Just right around that corner, it could be the rest of your life, right? So whether that's, musically, whether that's, if they're a poet or writer, if they're STEM, technology, whatever it is, just to believe in yourself so much that regardless of what adversity comes to you, you just flicking it off, And to know that, one path is not necessarily the path. You know, like, I mean, I know a lot of people where, you know, school wasn't necessarily the path, it was just a path, right? You know, so just being open to the fact that there may be other opportunities for you that don't necessarily look like what you may think, and it may be scary, but bet on yourself. Always bet on yourself. And, you know, I don't think you ever get steered wrong when you bet on yourself.
So there you go. Where can they find you?
Yeah.
Give me some links. Where can they come find you?
Okay, so my website is iamtoine.com, which is IAMTOINE.
I spelled it wrong for years now.
For years. Yeah. So it's IAMTOINE.com. And then everything social media wise is Toine Houston. So Twitter, Instagram, Facebook.
Everything's Toine Houston.
Everything is Toine Houston.
And I'm gonna drop the links in here for you as well, if you didn't catch
YouTube, all of that is Toine Houston. So I try to keep it, you know, simple and easy.
Any last words you have for our folks?
Yeah. Well, one, thank you. You know, thank you for this platform, and you know, not only just being my friend, but just always supporting the work and the crazy creative ideas that come from this brain of mine. But again, just always be and stand on who you are, even when it's a little shaky. Just know that God got you, or whoever it is, you know, that you believe in. And just know that you're awesome and you're dope. So, you know, it's all about being unapologetic about that. I've always been that way, and so that's always going to be the message that I'm going to, you know, exude out. So be you and love you.
Well, there you go. Guys, the way I end mine, always like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so I can keep doing more of these. Make sure you follow her journey, because I'm telling you, it's a powerful one. And on that note, I'm out.
Done with any and everyone trying to take away my shine. I ain't got time, alarm's been ringing. Tired of slow singing and flower bringing. Being part of my upbringing, uprising and up swinging. Care less about all your feelings and more about how I'm feeling. Get it? How I'm feeling. And right now I'm feeling like I can't. I'm so unapologetic, done with the fake and synthetic.